Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the All on Me, the Morning Drinking Show. I'm your host, Greg. Getting back on this motherfucker once again. We getting back on here once again. Because we doing life. You know how we do it. We do life. Life ain't doing me. It may be doing you, but I don't let life do me no more. What changed, right? What changed? Everything. Everything fucking changed. Everything changed when I went from life doing me to me doing life. What do I mean by doing life? What is doing life? I'll tell you what not doing life is, right? Not doing life is spending over 10 hours a week watching the tube, watching your shows, watching the bullshit, right? That's not doing life. I can tell you we're all probably guilty. What also is not doing life is spending over 10 hours on social media, right? That's not doing life. What also is not doing life, right, is waking up with no intentions, knowing you got a job that you got to go show up for, but you know you hate it. You know you hate it. Don't lie. If you hate your shit, admit it. Right? That's the only way things are going to change, is when you start to recognize that you don't like your circumstances, your life, right? And we all could be honest and say, look, what are the parts of my life that I don't like? I do that every day in my journal. I do that every day as I'm going about my life, as I'm sitting there and I'm saying, what can I improve today versus yesterday or last year or last month or last week? What can I do? What do I have control over that I can do that would make a positive impact in my life, thus improving my overall quality of life? And we all have these areas. We all know the shit we need to switch up or the shit we could. Whether you want to do it or are ready to do it or are willing to do it, that's on you, right? Here's what I know. Here's what I know. I truly believe this 100%, right? Is every single one of us, if you improve an aspect of your life, that makes you specifically, right, qualified to help the person you were, right? So when I look back and I see this shit and I know what I used to be, right? The drunk motherfucker. Everywhere I used to go, you guys, everywhere. Didn't matter if it was the morning, it didn't matter if it was lunchtime, afternoon, happy hour, after hour, or anything in between, here, there, everywhere, all over the world, right? I had a habit of needing alcohol, right, to be a part of my ritual, my life, right? And I know that I have completely 100% unequivocally broken free from that, as I'm just a few more months away from what? 11 years of sobriety, not 10. This show started last year because I wanted to commemorate 10 years of sobriety and what that meant to me, how much my life has changed. And what I know now is that because of my transformation, because of the things that I have changed up, going from somebody that used to just always have to be about the party, always have to be about the happy hour and the clubbing and the partying and just no matter what, man. If we watching the game here, we partying. If we watching the game there, we partying, right? And what I know now is that I have a message to be able to go back and speak to who I used to be. So what I'm saying is people that are still doing that type of shit, right? I am perfectly qualified, right, to help you to help those of you that are still struggling with that fucking mindset. The party mindset, living for the weekend. How many of y'all, man, it's like, yes, it's Friday. I can't believe it. And it's like, you ain't even shown up to work, right? You ain't even shown up to the job, but you're just already excited. And it almost means that you're like, either you got a few things to do, or you're just going to kind of try and cruise through the day, right? Tippy toe your way through the day just to get to the end. So that way, what? You get to have me time. Because that's what you're living for, is the weekend, the bookends of life. And that's a challenging place to be. When you're hustling, when you're grinding, and you're not even reaping a major reward that's starting to help you to what? Build wealth, right? Build some freedom, right? You get a little PTO, you get some sick time off, right? But you're so fucking exhausted and burnt out and overwhelmed and tired and just done with whatever it is that you've been doing for way too long because you ain't happy. It's not bringing you joy. It's not building you up. You just, we're our bodies, our minds, the people, human beings, we are so resilient that we can literally condition ourselves to embrace shitty situations, to turn shitty situations into tolerable situations. We can tolerate it and just continue to tolerate it because that is what we know. That is where our comfort is. And that's what we just live for the weekend. I've been helping several people right now on their health journey, man. And we're seeing people release a lot of weight. I want to say, I don't know, amongst probably 4 people, different variations. Some people just started within a week. Some people started a couple weeks. Some people have been after it for a few months, right? We're collectively, we're probably in like the, about 60-pound range, right? No exercise, no meal prep, people just releasing weight. But here's the thing, right? We always do kind of a huddle up, right? An accountability check on what day. What day do we do the accountability check? Friday? Wednesday? No, man, Monday. Monday is when we do the major accountability checks. Why? Why would Monday be the day, right? Because guess what? Most motherfuckers out there, they living for the weekend. It's all about a weekend. And you check out. We check out on the weekend, right? It's me time. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm an adult. I don't got to show up to work. I don't got no one having to tell me what to do. So I'm going to do me, right? And I'm going to fall back into the patterns of my life. Whether they truly are improving my life, it's just okay for me. It's okay. It's what I know. It's what I'm good with. But a lot of people deep down inside, you're not at peace with that mentality. You're not at peace with that kind of rebellious, stubborn, leave me the fuck alone mentality. Like I'm good when you really aren't good because your health isn't good. Your energy's not good. Your focus isn't good. You definitely ain't. You definitely shooting pictures from here up with filters. You ain't going to take that full body stuff from different various angles because you don't really want people to see what you have become, right? From here up, we can do filters and weird angles and shit that, there's beauty in the face regardless. But this rest of the thing that we walking around in, we're not happy. We're not proud of it. Most people are not proud of their bodies, right? And yet we continue to believe that we're doing okay. But we know overall our quality of life can be improved, right? And how do we do that? We got to start living for every day, not just the weekend. Like, holy shit, man. Like, if you only live for the weekend, you're missing out on a lot of life. You're missing out on a lot of opportunity. And that's really my mantra. Beyond just results kill excuses, my mantra is EDH. Every day's a holiday because I'm just getting paid to have fun. Right? And I want to inspire you to do the same, right? To emulate that, right? To change your mindset to such a place that even in a bad situation, even in a challenging situation, you can still smile, you can still have fun, you can make the most out of it, and you can learn and grow from those challenging situations. Because this road of 11 years of recovery, therapy, healing, growth, grief, loss, right? And everything in between. A lot of successes, a lot of victories, man. Even in some of the toughest times of my life, I've stacked up victories. And that's because I've always kind of woken up with that mentality that it's like, it's not about the next holiday, right? Memorial, right? Memorial's coming up. It's not about 4th of July. It's not about, Labor Day. I mean, that's the summer. Poof, it's gone, right? 3 major holidays coming up, and then poof, that summer's gone. And then guess what? It's back to fall. It's back to winter, right? And then you get in this emotional fucking roller coaster of like, just cyclical thinking, round and round and round and round, right? I'm listening to an incredible book right now. I highly recommend this book. And it's a really fast-paced book. So those of you that don't have time or don't think you have time, because that's another bullshit. You do have time. You got to make it. If you got time to sit around and watch 10 hours a week, which that's low, man. I bet you most people watch a full-time job's worth of TV, 40 hours a week, right? I bet you if you're adding up like 4 or 5 hours, if you watch 5 hours of TV on average a day, right? Just quick, you don't really even pay attention. That's a whole full-time job. I'm listening to this incredible book. It's fast-paced, right? It's Don't Believe Everything You Think. Don't believe everything you think. And it's really powerful because it really juxtaposes the difference between our thoughts, right, and our thinking. Thoughts are something that if I was to tell you, what's your dream vacation, right? Whatever pops in your head instant, that's a thought. But if I was to tell you, okay, think about when and how you're going to pay to get on that dream vacation, that then becomes thinking. And the more that we sit there and think about it, especially if we don't have a plan, especially if we're not mentally tough, mentally prepared, financially moving in a positive direction, right? The more we think, right? The more depressed, right? The sadder we become. Think about it. Think about in your life that the more that you think about stuff, does that thinking usually produce a sense of positivity, a sense of optimism, a sense of hope? No, it usually produces more doubt, more worry, more uncertainty, more unworthiness, more impossibility. Everything's impossible. Nothing's ever going to be good, right? The more we think. So one, we need to stop thinking so much. And that's a good point in this book. Again, don't believe everything you think. And it really talks about thoughts, right? Because thoughts usually come from inspiration, but we can't just sit there and think about it, right? Sometimes you just got to believe. I mean, that's your inner desires. I've been talking about this a lot. A lot of us are literally suppressing our true inner desires. Why? Because again, every time you settle for something that isn't your truth, every time you try and fit in with a group, right, that doesn't build you up, that isn't truly who you desire or see yourself as, right, you're selling yourself out, right? You're diminishing your light. You're covering the light inside of you, right? Which is really sad. How many humans, in the name of acceptance, right? Social acceptance, we're willing to literally sell ourselves out just to have people around us. And it's like we're talking about bullshit. Most of us aren't having deep conversations like this. That's really meant to what? Challenge you, build you up, encourage you, inspire you to get to what? Another level of yourself, to believe in yourself, to cast out all the doubt, the shit that holds you back, right? And instead, right now, whatever you've gone through this week, this now, because it's Friday, if that's when you're watching this, and it doesn't matter if you're not, because there will be more Fridays, There will be more weekends, but if you have that mentality that, oh, I can't wait for the weekend because then I get to do whatever I want, man, if it takes you having to only have 2 days to do what you want, like that is what I'm talking about. You're not doing life, life's doing you, because you're settling for literally a tiny percentage of your awakening possibilities of what you could truly be doing in this life, right? You should be celebrating the gift of life every single day. Then you should be celebrating the second greatest gift, which is connection. And a lot of us need to analyze that connection with others. Do we tolerate toxic connections, right? Old connections that have kind of dried up, that we just cling on, that we just tolerate, right? Think about that word tolerate. How many of y'all tolerating somebody in your life right now, or something, right? You're just tolerating it, right? It aggravates you, it irritates you, it frustrates you, right? It's not what it used to be. Right? Y'all got to get real on this journey of life, because it's not until you start to get real with yourself and be honest about the things that are not truly bringing out the best version of yourself. And a lot of us, right, we just numbing out, man. We are literally just numbing out. I had a conversation with my therapist this week, and she projected that exact term on me, because I was sharing with her some conversation I was having with close family members, and it wasn't stuff that I could tolerate. Did you hear that? It's not something I can tolerate, right? It's some of the conversations, because what the experience I had is I've told you guys that have been watching this show, right? And Snoop Dogg talks about it. When you start to invest in you, when you start to make changes in your life, whether it's for your health, whether it's giving up a vice like smoking weed or fucking drinking all the time, right? When you start to give up bad, like what would be generally considered a bad habit, right? The people that you partake in said bad habits with, right, on a regular basis, they're gonna not feel comfortable with you abandoning that, because we all want to feel a sense of acceptance, and like what we are doing is okay by other people participating in it. And the more people that participate in it, the more we justify wrong behaviors, right? Shit that we know is just truly not good for us. The more people that participate, right, the more we can justify, oh, you know what? Look, everyone else is doing it, so why the fuck shouldn't I? Well, fuck, it's that old analogy. If everybody jumps off the fucking cliff, you're going to do it too? Right? But we don't want to think about it like that, right? But the truth is that alcohol, you will not change my mind, is poison. You poison yourself no matter what level of alcohol you are drinking. Scientifically, biologically speaking, alcohol, ethanol, is poison. Your body, it is poisoning your body. Sure, it has effects that we enjoy, right? Most of us, we need that liquid courage to even tolerate the people in our lives. I'm hitting somebody right now, and I'm doing it in love, you guys. I do all of this in love. This conversation is in love, because I know the shit and the pain and the loneliness, even in relationships, that I have felt throughout the course of my life when I was fucking living a shitty, fucking miserable life. I wasn't truly alive, man, and living every day as if today is the greatest day to be alive, because this is all you got. Yeah, maybe you have a vacation, maybe you got camping, maybe you got travel plans in the summer. You don't know if you're making it that way. Let's hope you do. Let's hope that you have an incredible summer, but let's hope that you show up as your best self, so that way whatever you're planning is even that much more incredible. That makes sense, right? So that if you are even planning something, you're not guaranteed that it's going to go down. I'm hoping it does. But I would hope also that you would give a shit, that you would want to show up as your best self, right? And that could start here right now, right? And I'm so proud of the people that are stepping forward saying, man, I need some help. I'm also really grateful for the people that are stepping forward and supporting the cause, buying the merch, resultskillexcuses.com, man. It's that easy. Jump on there. Promo code, right? BAMF111, man. We doing alignments. Get on there. Be part of the initial launch of something that's not going to stop you guys. Not going to stop. This will be major, man. This brand will be major because it is a mantra and there are people that are desiring this shit. Real shit, not just a Hurley or just not just some logo, right? This is truly a way of life. It's a sense of self-accountability, right? To hold yourself accountable, which really means what? Building self-confidence. Well, how is that done? If you say you're going to do something, do it. Regardless of how you feel, regardless of what thoughts start popping into your head to give you doubt. And even as far as I've been on this journey, I continue to have doubt and struggle and mental obstacles that I got to jump through every single day in order to have a sense of what? Accomplishment, fulfillment, and self-confidence. That's how you build it up. It's chalking up wins every single day. It's not winning the championship. It's the teams that say we put in the work, we showed up in the offseason, we showed up in the preseason, we showed up every single week during the season, we grinded it out, we learned from our mistakes, we continue to fortify our resolve in our team and improve, right? And eventually we get to the goal. And it's no different in your life. Showing up for you. Having some goals. They don't always have to be lofty goals, right? It's just saying I'm going to start a new behavior, a new habit. And I know that a lot of people I'm coaching right now, it's this weekend. I hear them talking amongst each other from like mentoring stuff is, we all kind of struggle with the weekend. It's understandable. And it's like bullshit, right? There's no difference today than Monday than Tuesday. It's life. You are a result of your habits. And if your habits, right, and the pattern that you are living is living for the weekend, right, then you're doing it wrong. I'm here to tell you, you are doing it wrong. Whether you want to accept that or not, please do whatever you desire. Continue on, right, or tune in. Because you're doing it wrong. You're missing a critical part. And the fact is that the calendar's made up shit, right? The calendar is all about servitude. It's all about slavery. It's all about keeping you working. And most of y'all aren't even reaping what you're sowing. You're grinding and you literally can barely afford anything. It's very challenging right now for a lot of people. And it doesn't have to be, because I'm someone that believes right now, more than ever before, your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth. You start taking care of yourself. You start taking care of what? The 4 aspects I talk about on the show all the time. Mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and physical health. There's a lot of people, you're all in on spiritual health. You don't give 2 shits about physical health. Because you're already, totally locked into heaven, right? And there's a lot of you that are physically strong, but you can't get into what? The emotion and the mental and the spiritual side of things. And it's about finding balance and harmony amongst those 4 aspects of who you are, right? The mindset, the emotions, right? Allowing for there to be a sense of spirituality with you, right? And then allowing your body to be the accumulation of all of that. But the healing does really take place from the inside out. And so many people won't give themselves that opportunity. You only can focus on one area, one aspect at a time. And I'm here to tell you, no, there's a better way. There's a way that this little ticker is so simple, right? I should probably change it up because it's almost become probably invisible to a lot of you. But this is the shit I do every single day. This is a system that gives me success. That doesn't mean my life's easy. That doesn't mean things are perfect. I have a lot of struggles, no different than you. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical struggles every single day. If I'm missing something, point it out. But on those 4 pieces, every single day, I can struggle. Every single day, I get challenged. But the difference in the mindset is that when those challenges come, I don't fucking get overwhelmed. I don't give up. I fucking dig in and say, let's go. Let's go. I'm going to give it my all. I am locked in. I don't care how hard, difficult, what arduous, whatever it is, I'm in it. I'm going to get on the other side of it and I'm going to learn the lessons along the way so that when it comes again, let's go. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Make adjustments, make improvements. And there's just something about that. I don't understand why. I don't understand why we cannot. I'm reading a book, another book. I'm reading multiple books at once. But there's another book I'm reading that talks about how it would be just so much easier, right? If transformation and growth in life could come just through persuasion versus suffering. And that's the pain. That's a painful, painful realization, man, is that when the greatest lessons in life come through suffering, it's so tough, man, to realize that there's nothing wrong with you if you have faced a lot of suffering in your life. The question you have to ask yourself is, what have you learned from it? Have you shut down? Have you stopped doing life? Are you still just continuing to suffer, continuing to live depressed and live in anxiety, fear for the future, and longing for the past? And you missing right here, right now. Now, this is what you got. Something caused you pain. If maybe you're still feeling the pain, but usually the circumstances that caused the pain are over. And yet we're still carrying around the pain. Why? Why? Why do we carry around our pain and our suffering for so long? Some people will carry it around their whole entire life and not ever give themselves a chance, right? To learn from it, to grow from it. And what we usually do is we'll use something called a weekend as a reason to what? Numb the fuck out, overdrink, get high as a motherfucker, overeat, right? Check out. Instead of checking in and saying, hey, right? A checkup from the neck up. Hey, what's going on in my life? How am I feeling? What am I missing? What could I do differently that would actually improve my life? That I know that if I started doing this, my life would get better. But I'm afraid to do that. So now I need to go ask for some help. Maybe I need professional help. Maybe I just need a life coach. Maybe I just need a health coach. Maybe I just need a personal trainer. Maybe I just need a friend that actually gives a shit, right? Maybe I don't just need to get into a relationship until I really start to create the relationship I desire in myself, right? They always say that. The perfect relationship that you can imagine, write that shit down. Who is that person? Your perfect partner, your soulmate, your perfect partner, your equal. Write that shit down and then become that person in totality, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Become the person that you truly wish would love you. And guess what? That person will show up. And until they do, even though it may take some time, until they show up, guess what? You get to continue doing life and showing up for yourself. And in showing up for yourself, then you show up for others. But you do it in a genuine way. It's really sad how many people, like everything is strings attached in this world nowadays. It feels like it, right? I had an experience where someone got hurt and I felt that one, showing up for them, this person carries around a lot of guilt, so that by me showing up, this person feels like they're going to owe me because I showed up for them. And because it's like they lack what? They've never been loved. They have probably been made to feel like a burden. So that if someone's in the hospital and then you show up to check up on them, they're like, go away. You don't need to be here. Go away. They start to reject you because in their mind, they've probably been made to feel that when someone does something for them, it has strings attached. It's not just out of unconditional love, right? And that's a painful thing. And then on the other side of that is if you don't show up, right? Then there's even more shame. Oh, no one loves me, or why didn't you show up for me? I don't want you in my life anymore. You can't show up for me. And it's like we have to start to figure out ourselves, because it's a beautiful thing that when we can heal to such a place that we can just realize that we can align ourselves with universal love, man, kindness, and that we can just give out of an abundance, right? We don't expect nothing in return. And where a lot of you could develop that skill, right, is if you were willing to do some volunteering in your community, right? It doesn't have to be something extraordinary. You don't have to like go to a third world country and like feed the homeless and do a ministry thing for a year, right? There's literally infinite nonprofits that are things that you say you're interested in, right? Maybe you're interested in horses. There's probably a horse shelter. Maybe you love pets and animals, dogs. You can go volunteer at the humane societies, right? Maybe you're someone that longs to have a child, but that's not maybe a reality right now. Well, guess what? There's something called Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Maybe you're someone that knows what it's like to be homeless, right? And really have instability in your life. And now you've started to gain some traction in your life. Maybe it's not the perfect thing, but still going back to that place and realizing that there's still people out there that are suffering, right? And that you could serve them. And by doing that, right, you're really serving yourself, which it may sound selfish, but it's not, right? Because again, it comes with there's no income from it. It's just your time. And a lot of you don't have any issue, man, sitting there and being entertained by athletes and singers and entertainers and actors. You don't have any problem, man, giving hours and hours. If you were to calculate the amount of hours you have invested in this life, which will not last forever, cheering on other people, encouraging other people, celebrating other people that will never celebrate you. They will never know you. Right? You're just a number. You're just a fan. Right? You're just someone in the stands. Someone. They don't know your name. They're not going to send you a birthday card. They're not going to wish you a Merry Christmas or a Happy New Year. Right? None of that's going to happen when most of the people that you admire, that you raise up and put on a pedestal and give of your time. But to know that in your own community, there are people and organizations that you could connect with that would truly allow for you to feel like you are making a difference in this world. But it doesn't come with a paycheck. It just comes with you showing up as your best self, giving of your time, your talents, your focus, your energy, your skills, right? And just showing up with a willingness to say, hey, man, I'll do anything, right? Maybe you hate cleaning, but guess what? If you show up to volunteer and there's an area of expertise, some organizations don't know how to truly evaluate and leverage volunteers to put people into their areas of expertise. But who the hell cares? Show up with a heart to just say, look, I'm just here to serve. If you need someone to clean the bathrooms, I'll clean the dang bathrooms. I feel like that's making a difference. I showed up to serve today. I don't have to be in charge. But so many of us, we won't allow ourselves that opportunity. We won't actually take action on doing something like that. And I don't know why that is, because I almost think it's a freaking requirement. Serving, volunteering is literally a spiritual requirement. man, like if you believe in karma, if you believe in any sort of like inheritance in heaven or whatever it is, man, and you're not giving of your time, your most precious resource, and with no compensation, without a paycheck, just giving of your time and your talents. If you are not doing that, don't have to be doing it every day, don't have to do it every week, but just on a regular basis, you find something in your community, right, that you could show up for, to serve, right, and fill a need. I think it's a requirement. And I truly wish that the people that watch this would grab a hold of that and apply it to your life. Because trust me, you will feel different. You will have a fresh perspective. You will start to appreciate the things you got, not worried about the things you don't got, right? When you start to serve others, especially if you're serving people that are hurting, that are truly, truly suffering. I love this shit, man. I love reaching people. I hope you guys are willing to just give yourself an opportunity to make the most out of this day, to make the most out of this weekend, to start breaking some old patterns that are really just checking out, right? Habitual, right? So you got a favorite team, man. Oh, dude, it's a big game tonight. What the? Who cares? Turn off the tube. Go do something different. Who cares? You can check Sports Center tomorrow. Trust me, it's really funny how when you don't watch something that you feel like you have to watch, right? You kind of wake up the next day and it's like you don't really feel like you missed anything because it didn't have anything to do with your life. You watching something on TV, it doesn't have anything to do with your life. You are literally hitting timeout. Every time you sit there and watch something on TV, you are hitting timeout on your life, things that you could be doing that truly will impact your livelihood, right? You're saying time out to my life. My life is less important than me sitting here on my ass watching something on TV. Because when you don't do it, this is a challenge this weekend. Don't watch something that you really, really think you have to watch. You have to watch it. It's the big game. It's the big event. It's the big movie. Don't go watch it and then wake up the next day and say, oh man, I missed it. Fuck. I'm going to have to check Sports Center. I'm going to have to see who won. I'm going to see who lost. I'm going to see who scored the most points. I'm going to see, and then you like start, but then really filter and say, but I didn't see it live. How did that impact my life? I didn't watch it. That was 3-4 hours that what? I mean, find something better to do. Most of y'all can't do that. You have stopped imagining. You have stopped believing. You have stopped dreaming. So you can't even come up with something else to do. And that's a sad place to be. Because that time, if you could find something that you're interested in, it doesn't have to be hitting the gym, right? It could be a creative thing. It could be writing. It could be painting. It could be drawing. It could be sculpting. I mean, there's so many things of creativity that each of us have in us. Each of us have creative gifts of expression, right? You could be learning and developing and crafting and perfecting that skill inside of you, that gift, right? You could be doing that, but instead, you're going to keep watching other motherfuckers work, watching them at the highest level of their investment in self. That's why they're amazing. Do you not realize that? They're still human beings. Sure, the ones that are athletic, right? They've invested in performance and athleticism for years upon years upon years, days upon days upon days, right? Maybe that's not your gift. If your gift is maybe visual, creative, something else, technical, right? Technological, invest in it. You will become just as great. You can become the greatest on earth if you start to invest. But guess what? It starts right here. It starts right here in the mind, right? And then it starts with what? Taking clear, massive action to change your habits, right? To change the patterns in your life, especially if you've been on this earth for more than 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years. You have patterns. And if you want to break a pattern, you want to break a cycle, it's not going to come easy, but it is worth it, right? To have that fresh perspective. Anyways, I hope you're safe. I hope you put a smile on your face. I hope you do something to put a smile on someone else's face with genuine authenticity, right? As you go about your day, right? And I'm going to keep getting back on here. I'm going to keep doing life. And I'm going to keep doing life at the fullest because I love doing life. I appreciate this life, and I appreciate you getting on here and listening, because you know the drill, motherfuckers. Results kill excuses. It's all on me. Greg's out.